This is Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. The 10 things nobody told you about being creative. This little book is the perfect companion for any creative person. It's small, it feels so nice, and it's filled with positivity and just great advice. So, as with his newsletter, which is sort of him sharing 10 creative things every week, his books are divided like that too. 10 bite-sized chapters that cover things that are relevant to all creatives, whether you're a creative business person or whether you're an artist or whether you're a musician, whatever it is, all of this is completely relevant to you. And each chapter touches on points that we all can sympathise and relate to. So chapter 1, Steal Like an Artist, that's covering the book basically, which is not stealing, it's basically let yourself be inspired by other people, and that's how we kind of stand on the shoulders of giants, as it were. Chapter 2, Don't Wait Until You Know Who You Are to Get Started. That's basically just really plain and simple advice to actually just get on with your work and just start producing it, whether you have a direction or not, because the producing it is the important part and how you're going to grow as a creative. Writing the book you want to read. This is one of those things where it's about inspiring the enjoyment of your work by making sure you create the stuff that you would like yourself, because otherwise what's the point? Use your hands. This is really important these days, especially with all the iPads, iPhones, and whatever it is that we've got digital. We're not using our hands as much and approaching creativity with our hands in a different way. Like for me, rather than writing in Logic, it would be writing music on the piano, and approaching it in that creative way, using my hands, kind of works different paths in your brain and helps you overcome creative barriers. Side projects and hobbies are important. This is, again, a similar thing. It's kind of like the variety of the spice of life, having these other things on the side to keep you excited and keep it feeling fresh. The secret, do good work and share it with people. Share it with people is the important part here, which is basically just like when you're proud of something, show people so that people will know what you do and can share the joy, because what you have is a gift and it needs to be shared with the world. Chapter 7, Geography is no longer our master. This is basically like we have no limitations with our work. We can share our work with anyone in the world, and we can collaborate with anyone in the world, which is a very, very exciting and slightly daunting prospect, but I like the positivity of this chapter. Chapter 8, Be Nice, the world is a small town. I'm always telling my students about that when they're aspiring composers, is that you need to be a nice person as well, because most of the work you do is going to be working with other people, and it's really, really important. Chapter 9, Be Boring. Now this is a particularly important one for me. Just stick to your routines, and it doesn't always have to feel and be incredibly exciting. It doesn't have to be that kind of like Instagram life. You can just produce the work and enjoy yourself, and that's it. And creativity subtraction, it's kind of just talking about how when you're producing work, the creativity isn't always about adding new things to things. Sometimes it's by limitation that you will inspire more creativity. The book itself is filled with, well, I really love the design of it actually. I love his kind of pen work and his illustrations to kind of illustrate the point of each chapter, and it just makes it feel really fun to read, and all the kind of quotes put in these lovely sort of black and white blocks. It's just brilliant. And again, the reason I loved it was because I could just dip in and out. I'd feel a little bit uninspired and I could just read even just a page, even just this bit about Marcel Duchamp. I could read that, job done. And plus we get the excitement of having some of his blackout poetry, which I find really inspiring. If you're a creative person or you know a creative person, this book is such a brilliant little tool to have on the shelf.